everybody, welcome to Winamac Hockey for this week's video of NHL Weekly Update featuring me, Dom DeBomb, and Jake, the Snake Armstrong. Let's hop in for the week of January 31st. A lot's been happening around the league. First up, Sean Couturier has returned from IR, Jake, how do you think that's going to affect the Flyers, who are already playing extremely well?
He's obviously a guy they've missed on that team. He wears an A for them, so not only will he add to the goal scoring, but he'll also add to the leadership in that locker room.
Yes, absolutely. I think that, the Flyers are already in great position, and having him back, man, they are a scary team right now. I'm glad they're not in my favorite team's division. But all right, moving on to another injury-related update. Nathan MacKinnon for the Colorado Avalanche has been placed on IR. Jake, what's going on there?
He's arguably the best player in the league, and when he went down, they were hoping it was going to be day-to-day, but it turns out he won't be back for several weeks. It'll be interesting to see who steps up for the Avalanche in the coming weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have some of their veteran players step up even more now. So we'll see how that works out for the Avalanche over in the West. All right, up next, the reverse retro jerseys, everybody, are finally starting to make appearances throughout the league. I'm excited. I love the concepts of them. Jake, what do you think? Which one's your favorite?
I can tell you my clear favorite is the Capitals reverse retro. They took a jersey from the early 2000s, and it was originally blue. They made it red. That's one thing that I like that teams did with some of the reverse retros, is they kept their colors. When the Blue Jackets or the Blues are wearing a red jersey, I don't like that so much. But the Capitals took a jersey that wasn't one of their normal colors, and they made it red, and I think it looks great.
Nice. I'd have to say, a lot of people don't like Vancouver's reverse retro jerseys, but I am a big fan of those. I really like the concept and design, and I also like Dallas's. So, but I'm just very excited that they're making an appearance in the league. They've been hyped up for a long time, so really excited to see those making their appearances. So up next, the NHL has edited the scheduling due to COVID-19. Jake, you have an update for me there?
Yeah, a significant breakout in the West with the Avalanche and the Wild both having games postponed. So it interrupts some games. They had to rearrange the schedule a bit. Overall this year, 90 players have been placed on COVID protocol, and over 20 games have been postponed.
Wow, that is a pretty significant number.
Right, but it is good to see that after they go through COVID protocol, they get their players back, they're getting the season back underway. It's nice to see that they're keeping everyone safe.
Yeah, for sure. I think the league's been handling the pandemic pretty well overall, even going back to last season. Okay, up next, update on King Lundqvist. He had his open heart surgery a month ago, and he has been active on social media, and he has been doing very well, and it looks like that his progress is going as planned, if not better than planned. Jake, do you think that this man's going to make a return to hockey?
He has not ruled out retirement yet, so that's interesting. I don't see him returning to hockey personally, because I think after coming off a heart surgery, you take a puck to the chest, it's just too dangerous. But I'm not going to be someone to tell King Lundqvist no.
Yeah, absolutely. The guy's a tank. He's a hockey player. Who knows? All right, so speaking of goaltenders, Anton Khudobin was suspended late this week. Jake, what happened there?
Apparently, there was some frustrating moments in practice, and he just decided that he was leaving, and he just walked out of the practice, and management didn't take that too well.
Yeah, they're paying you a lot of money to be there and to win games. So, that makes sense from a management perspective. All right, lastly, Justin Williams, one of the hockey favorites out there, has been hired by the Hurricanes as an advisor to the GM. Jake, what are your thoughts?
Well, he's been a part of this organization a long time. Back in 2006, he won a cup with the Hurricanes. He eventually made his way to the LA Kings and won 2 cups with them, including being the Conn Smythe winner as MVP of the Stanley Cup winning Kings in 2014. and then he eventually went back to the Hurricanes, had a good run with them, became their captain. It's nice to see him staying in the organization in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. That hockey knowledge is going to come to good use for the Carolina Hurricanes. All right, moving on to the standings. First up, we have the Central Division, the Tampa Bay Lightning. No shocker, guys. Number 1 in the standings for that division, followed by the Florida Panthers, who have not lost in regulation yet. Coach Q is doing his work over there in Florida. All right, and then moving on to the East, the Boston Bruins, leading the division, still dominant. I mean, they're just flat out impressive, finding ways to win games week in, week out. All right, then moving out west, Colorado and St. Louis are tied for the lead, everybody. That division is fun to watch if you haven't got a chance to check them out. That division is just, they're putting up crazy numbers. All right, then in the north, Toronto, still continuing to lead, but only by a point over Montreal. That division is starting to heat up, at least the top 3 teams. As for Ottawa, they're still struggling, but I mean, it's a part of the rebuild process. So, Jake, any thoughts on standings before we move on to our key players?
Tampa is a team to watch going forward. They're dominating their division, and they don't even have Kucherov. Stamkos has been holding the weight for now, but when Kucherov comes back, they'll be even better, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're already leading the division without your star player. That says something about the depth you've got on that bench.
Right.
Okay, so players to watch. Jake, we'll start with you. Who do you got?
I have 2 players this week. Ovechkin is just coming off of his 4-game COVID protocol, and David Pastrnak also just came back from injury. Both those guys were leading in goals last year, and they have some catching up to do if they want to win another Rocket Richard.
Absolutely, and man, both of them great goal scorers. Obviously, Ovechkin recently moving up to 7th on the all-time list. Remarkable.
Impressive, that's for sure.
All right, so Jake, that was one of my players to watch too, was Ovechkin. I mean, man, he's starting to really put the points on and rack up some stats. So we'll see how he does this upcoming week as well. Also, I have Patrick Laine. With his new team in the Columbus Blue Jackets, the man is scoring goals. Are you surprised at all by that?
I'm not surprised. I was wondering how he would fit with Max Domi as his new center, and he already scored a goal with the team, so it looks like they're doing pretty well.
Absolutely. All right, my last player to watch is Lafreniere over in New York. 10 games played, 1 point. Jake, do you think he's just taken longer than they expected to adapt?
Jack Hughes also had a slow start in his first year, but if he wants to win the Calder Trophy, he's going to have to pick it up. Right now, my pick for the Calder is Tim Stützle of the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, and that's crazy for Tim to be over there in Ottawa putting up some really good numbers as a rookie on a team that's really struggling.
Right, 4 goals in his first 4-goal point streak as a rookie is unheard of in Ottawa. If he would have made it 5, which he unfortunately did not, it would have been a team record. So he stands tied for most goals by a teenager in team history.
Wow, that is remarkable. Off to a great start. All right, well, that does it for this week's version of NHL Weekly Updates. We hope to see you next week. We'll see you next time on Winamac Attack Hockey.